I remember that night very vividly. My husband and I were driving down into downtown Seattle, and I looked at him and I said, "This is it. I can't keep doing this anymore. Tonight, if something doesn't happen, I'm gonna accept that tech doesn't want me anymore." What had led to that was I was on the end of a 3-year journey to get back into technology. Now see, I used to be in technology when I was a young 20-something. And then, as many people do, they end up finding their life partner, and he was in the military. So I started following him around and ended up sacrificing my career in order to keep a stable home, to make sure that he was supported. In a lot of ways, I lost a large part of my identity then, but I didn't realize that until much later, not until this journey showed up. Now, during that time, I had done a lot of things. I had become a cake decorator and a personal trainer. I took one web contract since I still knew how to write HTML. I was always trying to give something back to the family, trying to contribute in some way, trying to just prove worth, really, is what it turns out to be. And then when he retired, he was like, "What do you want to do? It's your turn, it's your turn." I said, "I'm going to get back into tech." And like I said, it took 3 years. I went back to school, got certifications. I was on the path towards cybersecurity, getting involved in cybersecurity clubs, making things happen, talking to hiring managers. And then he ended up recruited to go somewhere else. And I was like, I'm starting over again. Isn't this so very military spouse? So I remember just that feeling that this isn't gonna happen. I had recently had a job interview, and when I got there, they slid a piece of paper over across the table and said, "You know, we posted the wrong job. This is what you're actually interviewing for. Do you want it?" So I'm sitting there nervous with the interview jitters, right? Reading a job description, trying to even absorb any part of it to know if I was qualified, or did I know how to do it, or did I want to do it? That interview didn't go so well. So this was my resignation in a sense. I went into I don't remember which headquarters it was. The organization we were part of would go to different tech headquarters. I remember going into the building. I can remember everything about the building except the name of the place. So I remember taking a deep sigh as I was there. It's interesting being a military spouse at events like this. There's often a focus on the military service member and helping them get a transition from the military. And in many ways that's easier, right? They have a set path. They have skills that someone who did that job in the Navy, the Navy for us, in the military, they know what that job entails. They know what skills are there. But when it's a military spouse, it's different. Our skill sets are very different. Every one of us looks different. Now, so as it so happens, I was listening to the speaker and kind of doing yeah, that's nice. What about us spouses? Hey, over here, over here. Notice us, notice us, notice us. And then at the end of the presentation that happened that night, someone got up. He said, "So, if you happen to know any military spouses, I'd love to talk to them. There might be an opportunity coming up." As soon as the fanfare of the official agenda was done, I beelined to him. "Please, what is this opportunity? I have to know what this opportunity is." I'll be honest, at that point I might have been willing to take a janitorial position if it meant I could put my resume on hiring managers' desks. And he said, "You don't happen to have any networking certifications, do you?" And my whole face lit up. Yes, I do. I have Network Plus." And he said, "Really? Perfect. Because there's a pilot program starting up, and it's for military spouses, and we're looking for some people to join us." And I said, "Count me in." And at first he didn't even tell me what company it was for. And then he was kind of like, "Okay, fine, it's Microsoft. Microsoft is doing this thing." And I went through the process from there and applied. It was a very whirlwind. It went from high networking events to being in a cohort where we were learning cloud server administration. And the reason I like to tell this story is because I was this close to giving up. I was. I told my husband, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to become a travel agent and it'll be great. And yet secretly I was like, and I'm starting over yet again. I was this close to giving up. And I think that's the thing with success, is we don't always know how close we are to that finish line because it's still hidden. Even if it's one step away, it's still hidden. So that's one of the reasons I'm here, is that I want to be an encouragement to people. I want to tell my story. I want to bring other people along with me on the ride. I believe so strongly that since I went through this process and I learned so many things not to do, I learned what not to do at networking events. I learned how to not go into interviews. I learned how to not do a resume well. And once I did actually successfully land in tech, I spent a lot of time from there asking, how can I give back? How can I be that hope to someone else? How can I make sure it doesn't take them the 3 years it took me to reach their goals? So if you're here and you're like, okay, that's an interesting story, that's what I plan to do. I plan to take all the wisdom that I have gained since then, from the lessons of what not to do, to onboarding to a new role when you're gone for 20 years from the workplace. Like, a small side email was intimidating. So, and then from there I started, as I was giving back, I started learning as much as I could about LinkedIn, about online networking, about how to make connections, about how to even send connection requests, how to try new things and bumble it up completely, and then have the mental fortitude to keep going. And that's what I want to do here. I want to take those lessons and share them with other people. I want you to be inspired. I want you to have hope. I want you to believe that you would have a spot at the table. I want you to believe in yourself. Some things are scary at first. I will tell a lot of those stories about how things are so scary at first. But I like to use the analogy that the first time I walked, it was probably pretty scary, and I bet you had a little bit of that same experience too. But you wanted what you wanted bad enough to take those first steps. And you took them. And guess what? You and I, we fell sometimes. But we kept getting back up, and we kept trying. So that concept's not something that's new to any of us. It maybe has gotten rusty. That happens. If courage isn't a skill set you've been operating in, I'm going to challenge you. Let's see what you can do. What happens if you put small little things in place and in progress today? It adds up over time. I can say that as afraid of as I was to start doing anything on LinkedIn at all, it's now become a place that's familiar to me, and I enjoy it. I have friends and acquaintances and people that I'm helping and people that have helped me, and it's grown into this beautiful, beautiful place where I can be encouraged, I can learn, I can encourage others, I can teach, I can take back wisdom to my job, I can find out what trends are in industries, and I get to just sit at the feet of giants sometimes. I have authors and industry experts at their feet, I'm at their feet, they're not at mine yet. But it's there, and it's there for the taking. So if you want to come along with me on that ride, then let's do it. Let's see what we can accomplish together. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear where you're starting. I want to hear what questions you have. Please give those to me. I plan to be generating a lot of content over the next several weeks, months, and years. So why don't you chime in? What are you looking to learn? What are you afraid of? If you can be just a little bit vulnerable with me, I'll be vulnerable back. That's a promise I can make. And together, we can do what we need to change our little part of the world. So we come along?